The Akashic Records is a powerful tool that can help you find your path in life, uncover your soul's purpose. It can change your life in so many different ways because the Akashic Records hold all answers to your questions. Whether you want to find out about your past life, your present life, your future life, what might be holding you back from really living the life that you truly want to live, you're meant to live, or even what you are meant to do that is to your highest and greatest good. The Akashic Records also hold your soul's blueprint that outlines how you're best to go about really creating the life that you want in the most aligned way that will bring you the results that you're actually looking for. Whether you have ever considered becoming an Akashic Record reader yourself or start working with your own records, or maybe even just getting a reading for yourself to receive insights and guidance, in this video, I want to share with you 8 powerful ways that the Akashic Records can truly change your life for the better. Because if you feel somewhat held back in life, if you're having questions, and I mean, who doesn't, right? We all have so many questions that often stay unanswered, where we may ponder and wonder and contemplate and try to figure out, but the answer may not quite seem fitting. Maybe it doesn't feel quite right, or you just don't get any answers. You're just constantly wondering, well, what am I here to do? What is my life purpose? What's my soul purpose? And things like that. Or who am I really at soul level? Oftentimes we have all these questions that often stay unanswered, right? And well, with the Akashic Records, that will no longer be a problem. The Akashic Records hold all the answers that you're looking for as it pertains to you as a soul, as a person. And if you're not quite sure what exactly are the Akashic Records and you're a little curious, then check out the videos in the description below where I talk a little bit more about what exactly are the Akashic Records, the oracle of your soul. So you can get some insights into that. Because today in this video, I want to talk about the 8 powerful ways that it actually can change your life for the better when you start working with the records or when you get a reading for yourself, because you can truly get such beautiful insights into yourself, your life, your purpose, your future, any and every area that you would love to receive some insights and guidance on and clarity that can be found within the Akashic Records. So the first powerful way that the Akashic Records can change your life, well, you can get answers. If you feel stuck in your life, if you're not sure what way to go, what steps to take, or where to go and what to do and anything like that. I mean, if you ever felt stuck and wondered, how can I move forward? Well, the Akashic Records can give clear guidance and insights into that next step. If you're having questions about your life purpose, of who you are at soul level, of past lives even, or anything like that, the answers can be found within the Akashic Records. So you never have to wonder or ponder. You can always receive insights from within the records. Whether it's, like I said, you work with your own records or you even getting a reading. There are so many Akashic Record readers out that it can offer insights. I myself offer Akashic Record readings from life purpose to soul remembrance to financial abundance, you name it. And if you're interested in finding out more, there's a link in the description below that takes you to my website and shows you all the different readings that I offer. But if you have questions, you will definitely receive insights from within the Akashic Records. Now here, I just want to mention though, the insights that can be gained within the Akashic Records, they only pertain to you. So you couldn't go into the records and ask about your loved ones or any people that you know or anything like that, because your Akashic Records, think of it like that, that's your soul's library of all lifetimes. Now, you can ask about another person as it relates to you, meaning basically you could ask, what am I meant to learn from this relationship with this and that person? What are they triggering within me that I need to be made aware of? Or things like that. So you can particularly ask about that person only as it relates to you. But still, if you have questions, if, for example, this person that you're with is really who you are meant to be with, is this relationship to your highest and greatest good, you can get that. Or even if you want to find out how to make the relationship better, that you can find out in the Akashic Records as well. Even if there are any soul contracts that you might have with a certain person, you can find out about that too. So you can get any insights as it relates to you as a soul. not so much about the other person. And because that would be their life, their Akashic records, and you can't just access another person without permission anyways. But if you have any questions, the answers can be found within the Akashic records. And how powerful is that? You would never have to wonder again or question what to do or where to go. You can definitely go into the Akashic records and get the answers that you're looking for. Then the second way the Akashic records are truly powerful and can change your life is that if you have the deep desire to really live your life on purpose, living a life that is absolutely fulfilling, that is to your highest and greatest good, that actually makes you feel absolutely amazing, well, that too can be found in the Akashic records, because the Akashic records also hold your soul's blueprint. They hold your information about your life purpose and what your soul has come here to do in this lifetime, even past lifetimes as well. But if you want to really live your life on purpose, you can get the insights in the Akashic records, because the Akashic records can tell you what you're here to do, how to best go about it, even what is really holding you back from really stepping into living your life on purpose. What are certain beliefs that you might have that are hindering you from really experiencing life to the fullest? All that can be found within the Akashic records. So you never have to wonder, is what I'm doing even what I'm meant to be doing? Or oftentimes you already are. Like, I see it all the time whenever I have clients coming to me for a life purpose reading, is that they're already living their life purpose to an extent. Like, they're already somewhat in alignment with what they're here to do. But oftentimes it's like a very, very small portion of what is actually possible for you. And when they're getting the reading, they're really getting the insight of what is that evolved purpose of their soul that their soul has come here to do. There's so much that can be found within the Akashic records that can really help you live your life in absolute alignment with your soul's blueprint. And also, most importantly, how to go about certain things, because there are so many ways you could be going about creating the life that you desire, right? But not every single way is meant for you. Now, I give you that example as far as business goes. Like, I used to do so many different trainings about business aspects of how to grow your business, how to get more clients, and those type of things. And I tried a lot trying to find what works for me. I followed other people's advice, but a lot of those things were actually going against my soul's blueprint. So as I was trying to do those things, and I noticed it doesn't feel right, but at that point I didn't know that I was misaligned. Well, those things didn't really work. So once I started working with my own records and got guidance of how am I supposed to create this life and really live my life purpose, then I started getting insights into those most aligned ways. And once I started doing that, well, guess what? That's when things changed for me. And that too can be found in the records, because it holds your soul's blueprint, the blueprint for your life, for each lifetime, of how to best go about creating the life that your soul has come here to live and do the things that your soul has come here to do. Then the third powerful way that the Akashic Records can change your life is that you can actually get insights about past lives, about things that may still be affecting you, about karmic things, about ancestral ties, soul contracts, and those type of things, where you can really tap back into those past lives to uncover certain things that are still affecting you today. So let's say you want to really step into your purpose, but for some reason, no matter what you do, you're feeling kind of hindered. You're really not able to really move forward, or no matter what you're doing, you're not achieving the success that you want. Well, there's most likely or even many lifetimes where you had a bad experience living your life on purpose that now causes you to be afraid. Or even maybe you had been killed in a past life, or really had massive hardship. That all is ingrained within your soul. Your soul still remembers a lot of those things. Well, your soul still remembers everything, but you, of course, as the human being, you don't. But it's still ingrained with you in your energetic makeup. So any past lives that you had a really bad experience in, well, that's still ingrained within you. So past lives, karmic lessons, ancestral ties, past life experience, they all can affect you. And by working with the Akashic Records, you can go there to find out, well, what past life is most important for me to know right now as it relates to X, Y, and Z. then you will get the insights into what those past lives are. Maybe you're getting insights into many lifetimes, or maybe just one in particular. Then you also can ask, well, how can I heal that? How can I release that? Even let's say you're having physical problems right now, illnesses right now in this lifetime. Let's say you always have this pain in that right shoulder or something like that. Well, it is quite likely that maybe in a past life, you had been maybe stabbed in that right shoulder, stabbed in the back. Well, that on an energetic level is still ingrained within you. So you're feeling that now because maybe you haven't healed from that and released that emotional charge around the betrayal that you experienced, that, being stabbed in the back. So you can find out that to find out what is then really holding you back now in this lifetime as it is connected with past lifetimes. And once you have that clarity, well, then you can do something about it. You can heal it. You can release it. And that brings me also to the fourth piece here. So the fourth way is that when you start healing something within the Akashic Records, you can literally do time travel while working with the Akashic Records because you can go into that past life. You can really connect energetically with that. You can ask your guides, your record keepers, well, how can I clear that? How can I release that? And the guides can actually assist you in healing and releasing, really cutting the cord to that past life. And that has such a beautiful ripple effect because anytime something happens to you way back when, well, that stays with you on an energetic level all the way up until now. So once you clear these things, the negative charge around the event when it happened, that's why I'm saying it's kind of like time travel, it then adjusts your timeline because you're removing the negative charge from the event when it happened. Well, then it wouldn't stay with you until right now because you released it then. And that has such a beautiful ripple effect that will then ripple out. It's not going to just affect you, but every single person that was part of your life from then all the way until now. So when you do your own healing, when you go into your records and you uncover what is really at the core of things, what is holding you back, what is still negatively attached to you, and you start healing that has such a beautiful ripple effect, changing not only your own life, but the life of every single person that was affected by that negative energy that stayed with you throughout your entire life. Right? Because anytime something bad happens, well, it's like a shock to your system, so to speak, your energetic system. And your energy changes, your vibration changes because it was affected by that thing that happened. So you're going through life with that certain type of frequency that was affected by that event, right? And then when more events happen, well, your vibration keeps changing, right? So when you go and heal that and it rewrites your timeline, well, guess what? That then also changes the vibration that you had around you your entire life. So this is truly a beautiful way to change your life for the better when you start working with the Akashic Records and start healing within the records. Truly a powerful thing to do for yourself. And of course, it will affect other people as well. Then the fifth way is that, well, you hold all the answers. Your Akashic Records hold all the answers. So you will always know what's best for you. You no longer then have to follow all these gurus, those experts, and listen to every word they say. No, you will know what is best for you. Now, I'm not saying to never listen to anyone again. I'm not saying that. I still listen to a lot of people. However, there's a little twist to that. You will then know what's best for you because you can listen to, different strategies, different tips, and all these different things, all that advice. You can listen to that. But sometimes these things that you're listening to may not be the right thing for you. Remember what I mentioned, like me and doing all that business stuff and then realizing certain things were misaligned. It's the same thing with other advice that you're being given. You know what's best for you. So you don't always have to listen to those experts. Yes, you can take in what they're saying, but then you can check in with yourself, check in with your Akashic Records. What is this really what I'm meant to do? Is this how I'm meant to go about it? Because you can get the input of how to do certain things, right? You can get the framework of certain things. Like me going through all these business trainings, I learned the framework. I know a lot of how things work. Well, this is helping me now also in my own business, with my marketing clients. But the thing is, I also don't know, well, these are not the things that I want to do, or maybe do it with a twist, right? Because you know what's best for you. And if there's like, let's say, a strategy that you know that this is the right thing for you, but how it's being presented to you doesn't quite feel right, well, you have access to your Akashic Records. You can find out, well, how am I meant to go about this? I know this strategy is to my highest and greatest good. Or you can even ask within your records, is this strategy to my highest and greatest good? And then how am I best meant to go about it? So you no longer have to rely on other people to give you insights, but you know what is best for you by you working with your own Akashic Records, or like I said, getting a reading. And if you want to learn actually how to access your own records, how to work with your own Akashic Records, I have a free 6-day challenge that I want to invite you to join. It's in the link in the description below. Over 6 days, I will walk you through how to start working with the Akashic Records and start receiving guidance for yourself, if that is what you would like to do. So the link is in the description below. If you feel called to do that, definitely check it out. I think you're going to love it. Then the 6th way is that as you're actually working with the Akashic Records, or even if you're just getting a reading and you're in the frequency of the Akashic Records, it raises your vibration because the Akashic Records are in a higher frequency. So when you work with the records, let's say you do your own readings for yourself, the longer you are in the records, you will actually feel drained when you come out. You feel tired because it's just such a higher vibration. But the more you work with the records, well, guess what? You keep adjusting to that higher level frequency, so your frequency raises as well. And even if you're just getting a reading, that too raises your frequency. Like I do my readings all in writing, and every single one of my clients, they reported to me that as they're reading the reading, they're feeling the energy, they're feeling the shifts, they're feeling that they're really noticing that higher level frequency. So when you work with Akashic Records, that will definitely raise your frequency because you are definitely leveling up on a frequency level to access the Akashic Records because they do exist in a higher level frequency. Then the 7th way that the Akashic Records can truly change your life is that it actually also opens you up to channeling higher guidance. I started out with the Akashic Records, and now I actually channel the guides. I channel the angels. I channel, a spirit. I channel, goddesses and ascended masters. And it all started because I started working with the Akashic Records, because you are in a channeling state, no matter how you do it. I mean, I like to do my readings all in writing, but the way I had learned it was actually I open the records for myself or a client, and then I just get insights. I ask questions, I get insights. I prefer the written technique because I actually get more context than if I just enter the records. But either way, you are channeling because you are accessing the records. You are calling up on the Akashic Record keepers. You're asking questions, and then you're basically receiving insights. Whether it is you're seeing images, you are getting actually a download, you're hearing the words in your mind or anything like that, but you are basically channeling. And as you're working on that, that also helps you actually then with your ego as well, because oftentimes it's the ego that kind of gets in the way of receiving the guidance. But as you work with the Akashic Records, it helps you also quiet down your ego so you can hear the guidance more clearly. And then you can actually venture out to opening yourself up to other beings, light beings, to channel them, whether it's angel, ascended masters, guardian angels, or anything like that. Any light being, you can then open yourself up to channeling them as well. So the Akashic Records is a great starting point for channeling. If you ever would like to channel, working with the Akashic Records is definitely a great starting point to do so. And the 8th and final way is that, well, as you start working with the Akashic Records, it can then actually open you up to then maybe working with other people too, starting your own spiritual business and impacting other people. I cannot tell you how much my life has changed as I start working with the Akashic Records, giving readings to other people, how it changed their life, how I was able to see how their life changed because of the insights that they gained, because of the healing that took place, as we're working through with the Akashic Records. So there's just so many beautiful ways that working with the Akashic Records can truly, truly change your life. And like I said, whether it is you want to work with the records yourself, then definitely check out my little 6-day challenge if that is of interest to you, or then just getting a reading for yourself. Maybe you're at a point like right now that you just want answers, you just want insights. Then you can also just get a reading. But even though you're just getting a reading, that too can really impact your life for the better because you're receiving a blueprint. Well, it depends who you're going to go with. Because a lot of Akashic Record readers, they are doing it just like over the phone or Zoom, and you're not actually getting a written report. I like the written report because I like to provide my clients with a blueprint that they can always go back to. And every time they're rereading the blueprint or the reading, well, they're getting more insights. They're getting a deeper activation and those type of things. So it really depends on what it is that you're looking for, but even just getting a reading can be life transformative for you because you're receiving insights, you're getting guidance, and you will know exactly what you're meant to do or get your questions answered. And if you would like to find out about my readings, like I said, there's a link in the description below. Right now, actually, I have a special going on for the end of the year, so you will actually get a nice discount as well if you would like to have a reading. So link is in the description below. You can browse through all the readings that I offer. But here are the 8 ways that the Akashic Records can truly change your life. I know for myself, I'm so grateful that I was guided to work with the Akashic Records because my life has not been the same ever since. I've experienced so many beautiful things, uncovered so many beautiful things about me. And like I said, I never have to wonder or question because I always have access to my records to get guidance. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like button. Maybe leave me a comment below. Let me know, what is your experience with the Akashic Records? Are you currently working with the records? Have you worked with the records in the past? What was your experience working with the Akashic Records? I would love to know. But thank you so much for being here. Be sure to check out this video here about what exactly are the Akashic Records if you want to find out more about that. I think you're going to enjoy this video. Thanks again for watching. I look forward to seeing you again in the next video. Until then, make it an amazingly abundant, successful day. Namaste.